Question 36 is again based on the working capital management part of the syllabus, and this time looking at how a company actually chooses to behave in terms of how much cash it keeps on hand, particularly in terms of how liquid it decides it needs to be. So the two approaches that we're being asked to compare are aggressive and conservative. Conservative approach would mean that we try and keep greater reserves of cash and liquid funds, whereas with an aggressive approach we would actually try and maintain absolute minimum holding of liquid funds. So in terms of trying to decide which of each of these benefits applies to each of those approaches, if we work through them then, lower liquidity risk. Well, with the aggressive approach, that is one of the biggest problems, that you do run the risk that you have insufficient liquid funds. So that would actually be a benefit of the conservative approach. The second is that we have a more relaxed credit policy for receivables, which might help improve sales. Again, part of the conservative approach is that we're a bit more relaxed about things, and so yes, offering our customers longer time to pay us, that would be another benefit of the conservative approach. Lower levels of current assets. Well, in actual fact, that's the other way around now. We're going on to the aggressive side. So if we decide that we are happy to maintain lower levels of liquid funds, those liquid funds would appear as part of our current assets. And so yes, one of the benefits is we end up with lower levels of current assets. Quicker cash turnover may allow the business to expand quicker. Yes, one of the reasons that we tend to choose aggressive approach is to help with business expansion, and so that would be for aggressive. Greater ability to meet an increase in sales demand. Well, one of the problems with aggressive is you don't have any reserves for any sudden changes, and so that would take us back to conservative method, which must mean that the final one is aggressive, I would expect. But here let's just double check. So lower financing costs, which should lead to better profitability. Yes, the idea with aggressive is that we have sufficient funds available to us, but we don't hold excess cash. So yes, it should lead to lower financing costs because we're not allowing our receivables as long to pay us, for example.